Do you ever look at your sales pipeline and get discouraged? You think, gosh, I've spent a lot of time trying to build this pipeline and it never seems like it's enough. And maybe you're asking yourself, when is this going to happen where people call me to do business with? Well, you're not alone. A lot of people think that. In this video, I want to share with you 3 new mindsets, 3 new strategies that you can think about to help solve that problem. I want you to grow your business. Part of that is prospecting, but I don't want you to burn out doing it. Hey, Bill Caskey here. I've been training and coaching sales teams and professionals for nearly 30 years, and prospecting and business development is one of those things that's always at the top of everybody's list. Everybody wants the magic cure. Everybody wants to know, if I just make 100 cold calls a day, is that going to help me build my pipeline? But I want you to think about it a little bit differently. Dan Sullivan, who runs a program called The Strategic Coach, talks about on stage and backstage. And on stage is all the things that you can do in your business, which we're going to talk about a couple of things today. But backstage is all the stuff up here. How am I looking at this? What is my strategy? How am I thinking about prospecting? Am I thinking about it in the right way? And I find that most people aren't. So let's get into the 3 tips. Underneath each one of these, I'm going to give you a new way to think about prospecting and a couple things to do, and then we'll finish with a call to action. By the way, if you like this video or like any of our videos on the channel, make sure you hit subscribe, ring the bell to be notified, and you'll get the videos right when we release them. Okay, let's get into this. The first thing I think we want to work on is, are we audience aware? Are we aware of our audience and the fact that you have an audience? That audience might be past clients, current clients. It could be people that you have a list of, maybe people who have connected with you over the last couple of years, maybe strategic alliances and referral partners and people like that. But I want you to stop thinking of it as prospects and start thinking of it as audience. You know, when Netflix releases a new episode or a new movie or event, they're always looking at the audience. How are we going to capture that audience? Where is that audience? Where is that audience right now? What are they watching? What are they consuming? And I think it's the same thing with us. We have to stop looking at just prospects in general and say, what is my audience that I'm trying to reach? For example, I've got someone in the software business, and we asked them to do this exercise, and they came up with 3 or 4 different audience bases. One was the CFO. That's one audience. Now, the message for that audience is going to be very different than the message for the CEO audience or the VP of marketing audience. So every audience is going to have a different message. If you just take one message and throw it out to your audience and hope that they look at that message and kind of put it into their own world, it's not going to work. People don't have the brain power for that. They don't have the calories to exert to do that or the time to do it. So once you get your audience down, who are the audiences for your product, your services, your solution, then you can work on messaging underneath each audience. The second tip is I want you to have a platform awareness. I want you to be aware of the platforms that you have at your disposal. This could be audio platforms like podcasting. It could be YouTube platforms like you're watching this on. It could be the social media angle of that, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all the different social media platforms. I presume that if you're in business-to-business sales, LinkedIn is probably the key core platform that you're using. But start looking at the platform and become aware of how that platform can help you generate more prospects. For example, on LinkedIn, I've got a client that posts a new video every week. And the video is basically just answering a question that they get from their market typically. Every question has an answer. The answer has several parts to it. The answer also, in my client's part, is very specific about how to solve this problem. They don't give them all of the details on how to solve it, but they give them enough so that the consumer, the audience watching, says, you know what, I think this John Smith might have something. I'm going to reach out to him. He's been doing these videos for the last 12 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, he's had 5 people reach out to him. And here's what it sounds like. Yeah, I've been watching your videos. It sounds like you guys really know what you're doing here. We've got all sorts of problems. Can you come in? It's not that way every time, but generally that's the reaction he gets from his audience. So point number 1 is audience aware. Point number 2 is platform aware. If you're going to resort to making cold calls your entire life and not use social media, that's not smart. Social media can get your message out to the hundreds or thousands immediately. How long would it take for you to cold call 1,000 people? You're not going to get to maybe 5% of them, so you're going to spend a lot of time. I'm not suggesting not cold calling. That's a tactic. Okay, if you want to use that, that's fine. What I'm saying is think about the platforms that are available to you for you to take your content, share it with your audience, and then reap the benefits by having them call you. The third tip is I want you to become problem aware. Problem awareness is, are you aware of the kinds of problems that your audience has? If you're calling on CFOs, let's just say, what are the problems that they have? Are they profitability problems? Are they resource problems? How are they taking the resources that they have in the business and putting them toward things that are going to grow the business or grow the profitability? Personnel might be a CFO issue. Revenue is probably a CFO issue because at some point the revenue drops down to profit, but it all begins with new customers, new clients, and top-line revenue. So think about what are the problems that your audience has and write them down for each of the audiences. CFO has several problems. CEO has several other problems. Some of those might overlap, some of them won't. But when you take a look at this new strategy, think about audience, become aware of the platform, and then aware of the problems that audience has. You're going to be able to create content. You're going to be able to make those calls, to do webinars, to speak in front of groups, because you're going to be dialed in to the very problems those people have. And when you're dialed into those problems and you can articulate those problems, guess what? They're going to say, this person knows what I'm dealing with. This is the person for me. We don't spend nearly enough time on becoming problem aware. So I want you to do that after this video is over. So your assignment with these three is, number one, list your audiences. List all the variety of audiences that you have in your business. It could be by cohort, like by job title, or it could be by market, or it could be strategic partners, as I say. List those out. Then I want you to become platform aware, meaning pick one or two platforms. You're probably already on LinkedIn. I would suggest you use LinkedIn and ask yourself the question, am I doing all I can to engage new potential customers on that platform? I suspect you're not. Are you producing weekly videos? Are you producing content? Are you sharing from other people inside your company with your network? Are you commenting on posts? I think if you spend 30 minutes to an hour a week doing that, you're going to see massive response and you're going to have the phone ring. Inbound marketing will work. And so people will be reaching out to you. And the third action is your problem awareness. Make a list of each audience, CFO, CEO, VP of marketing, whatever those are for you. Make a list of the problems that they have. That if you went up to somebody who has that job title and you said, look, here's one of the things that we do. We work with CFOs on 3 problems, and you state those. Are they going to say, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have those problems. Or are they going to say, you work on those? How quickly can we talk? If you like what you heard here, make sure you subscribe. As I said earlier, get notified. And if you haven't already downloaded the free copy, the free document called 5 Reasons You Don't Have Enough Clients, in that I talk about some of these things, but I go a lot deeper. You can go to 5reasonsclients.com. It should be in the show notes below, and you can download it there. If you have any comment about this, or if you have any questions or other videos that you'd like to see from me, we publish every week, sometimes once a week, sometimes twice. Make sure you put it in the comments. Somebody from our organization will respond. Probably be me, but we've got some other people who do that too. I'm glad you joined me today. I hope this was helpful.